Here we go.
3, 2, 1.
Corbet's Couloir, a skier's mecca. We enter the proving ground for the ultimate free skier and free rider. It calls out, pushing them to their limits, and sometimes beyond.
Double. Not putting down the clean landing gear was epic.
Returning champs will up the ante.
Wow. That is how your reigning king is going to start off his campaign.
While the new blood looks to dethrone those who reign. Once again, Mother Nature has spoken. Not for the faint-hearted, the terrain boasting the ultimate platform.
Back freedom wall ride? Stomping it.
With a blank canvas on which to cement a reputation. A battle for the crown is about to ensue. This is the Kings and Queens of Corbet's Couloir.
And a very good morning, everyone, here from 10 Sleep Bowl at the base of the iconic Corbet's Couloir. Jackson Hole Mountain Resort plays host yet again for the 6th year of Kings and Queens of Corbet's. The allure of these mountains is undeniable. Today, we will witness incredible athletic feats of some of the most talented men and women skiers and snowboarders who will vie for the coveted title of King and Queen of Corbet's. DC here, joined alongside by my host again, Jeff Moran, former professional snowboarder and fixture of the Jackson Hole community. Jeff, how are you doing today, my friend?
I'm so good. It's great to be back this year here in 10 Sleep Bowl at the bottom of Corbet's Couloir with you and this massive crowd of people that are forming. It's been a super chilly morning. We've been getting ready. There's hundreds of people out here working to make sure this event will go off without a hitch. And we have such a really cool format with this event. So we've got 24 skiers and snowboarders, but there's no judges panel. It's all peer judged. They'll get together to review all of the runs, and then they're the ones who decide who our kings and queens will be.
And as in previous years, we want all our viewers to get involved as well. We have the People's Choice Award for the audience to place a vote online for their favorite male and female rider.
We also have a really unique way where we decide the drop order.
Never been so nervous. Number one, please, number one.
12. 7. Number 7.
Well, our first competitor to drop in, Alex Hackle, he drew that number 1 start order. First time here in Jackson Hole. What do you think's going through his head right now, Jeff?
There's a lot going through his head. I talked to him on the tram ride up this morning, and he's really excited about having a fresh, clean landing and being able to be the first in. But there's also some nerves there because he's never been into Corbet's before in his life.
And here we go, Alex Hackle dropping in.
Yeah, Alex!
Coming off the nose with a nice hand drag, left 3 looking like.
It's official. Alex Hackle has jumped into Corbet's Couloir and has kicked off the 6th King and Queens Invitational here in Jackson Hole.
Another left 3. Looks like the snow is good in there. Maybe a little set up from the wind. But otherwise, plenty of snow in the Couloir this year. Now into the crowd pleaser. And a nice dub 7, left up 7 there for Alex Hackle. And let's take a look at the replay of the action. Well, great first attempt from our first athlete, Alex Hackle.
Having a little trouble on the first landing, but getting it back together and taking a nice hard skier's right, looker's left line.
We got ourselves a proper couloir with proper conditions. Let's send it up to the third member of our team, Andrew Whiteford. How's it going out there, buddy?
The vibe is warming up, just like the sunlight dissipating the clouds around us. We're looking right now at temps right around 20 degrees Fahrenheit, very light to moderate west winds. Conditions are prime for an incredible day out here.
And thank you very much, Andrew Whiteford. We look forward to catching up with you more throughout the day. And our next athlete to drop, athlete number 2. This is Jake Hopfinger.
He's got some Jackson roots. He's spent a good amount of time here and he's familiar with jumping into Corbets.
Well, for more on Jake's 4th year, let's hear some words from Jake Hopfinger.
I remember the first year I came and I felt just like the young dog. I had no idea what was going on. Granted, I still don't really know what's going on, but I think this is year 4, so we're back at it. Parker and I both did some double backflips a few years back. We built this little kicker off the lip a little ways. I don't know where we go from there. We were thinking triples for a little bit, but there's just no way. Maybe some of the young guys can come and get it from me.
It's crazy to think that some of these young guys like Jake and Parkin, they're the old dogs when it comes to King and Queens.
Well, here we go, Hopfinger. With another massive double backflip.
Jake over-rotating the double backy. It's a comfortable trick for him. He's done it before, but just going a little too deep. There we go, hitting the spine. Look at that turn. Beautiful conditions. We were saying all time, but now it's being proven, and we actually heard from Alex last run that they are as good as we thought they'd be.
Oh, the straight air off the crowd pleaser. The crowd giving a warm welcome to Hopfinger. Let's take another look at Jake Hopfinger, our second athlete to drop in to this year's event.
It's absolutely insane to think that double backflips into Corbet's couloir have become somewhat of the status quo. That's just what happens now.
Some great veterans in the mix, some fun new additions in the mix. Who are some of the athletes that you're excited to see out here today?
I'm really excited to see Mason Lemery. He's got a lot of hype around him right now. He's definitely one of the hot up-and-comers. I'm looking forward to seeing Veronica Paulson. She was our queen in 2020, landed that historic backflip, and there's rumors that she might be going for a double backflip today. And then Colby Stevenson. He's one of the most elite park skiers in the world, and I think those skills are going to transition really, really well to the course here at Corbet's Couloir.
Dropping next, this is Summer Fenton from San Francisco. I've announced her for years on the half-pipe circuit. And let's see what Summer's got for us as our first athlete to drop in to vie for the crown as the queen of Corbets. Summer's gonna be dropping in off the nose. And here she is, airing in. And back to her feet. Summer Fenton, not afraid to go big. Again, competed on the professional half-pipe circuit for many years, getting some powder turns fresh off a trip from Japan. Enjoying copious amounts of deep powder.
She's pretty much an all-terrain killer. She rides it all. Street, pipe, slope, big mountain. She's getting reorganized, getting settled before she comes into the final kicker, our infamous crowd pleaser here at the bottom.
And the nice straight air off the right side takeoff, which is still a healthy sized jump. Next up, our fourth athlete to drop in here to the 2023 edition of Kings and Queens of Corbett, Cam Fitzpatrick, local rider. Well, let's hear more from Cam on being a 6-year vet here at this event.
I grew up here, and the coolie's been kind of a part of me. You know, it's been a backbone of my story, and it's just so special to have this kind of event in a town that you grow up in.
Local Jackson rider Cam Fitzpatrick, fourth athlete to drop in here to the couloir. Stops the backflip. With the back three the spine. Cam Fitzpatrick, he wanted that so bad. It's been a long time coming. He's had some good years and some not so great years coming off the nose, and he just stomped Dream Trick. Here he comes into the crowd pleaser. Oh, back 7 melon. He's wanted that for 6 years.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, that was
First of 2 from Cam Fitzpatrick. He was so close to the wall. I was actually a little worried when he was in the air. I was like, is he drifting? Is he drifting? And he couldn't have landed any more perfect. That 4th drop spot really working out well for Cam. He wanted it, and he put it to good use. Still plenty of good landings up there. Well, next up in the gate, this is Parkin Costain from Whitefish, Montana, now calls Big Sky, Montana home. Parkin is one of the athletes who has really had their career skyrocket, and it's all due to his performance over the years here at Kings and Queens.
My first year doing the double, I definitely was spooked. It was a pretty surreal feeling, kind of being on the top of the line with Jake and knowing what we were about to toss into the couloir. There's definitely like a lot of visualization before we drop in, and then yeah, just count down 3, 2, 1. It's time to go. It was something that I'm going to look back on for the rest of my life. It was a really fun moment.
3, 2, 1. That's crew.
And here we go, Parkin Costain, drop it in, your 2020 King of Corbets. And coming in with the huge flat 3, and oh, not able to stomp the landing. Going a solid 50 or 60 feet, I would bet, off the lip. We're starting to get a real sense of how much snow is actually up there. Getting the hand signal from Parkin that he's okay. Over 5 feet of snow here in the past month alone, and the Jackson Hole Park crew really stepping to the occasion. For more on what it took for this year's build, let's take a look.
It's really cool to see. This course could be the best ever.
We're kind of putting final touches on the hand-built section of the couloir.
So much fun building this too. It's just like a kid in a candy store. The first feature on the skier's right, we call it the rocket. It's just a big rock there. And then in the middle, we have the spine. And then the hotel. We wanted to give athletes a chance to go super huge. It's the biggest takeoff I've ever built. We've made a kind of technological jump forward, utilizing the catenary arches to save snow and to build faster.
Working with Ranyan and learning from him is probably my favorite part of any build. Yeah, I'm sure he'll show you the airplane. This is one quick tool that he whipped up in order to help us. He might take off trying to ride with it.
Next to drop in, this is Mason Lemery. Yep, Mason originally growing up in Vermont. He's got those East Coast roots, but as many of us do, migrated west and found himself in a town with a bigger hill and more snow. Dropping in, first time here to Jackson, first time into Corbets.
2, 1.
Inverted 540 coming off your toes, kind of diving right out into a front flip. It's always interesting, every year, the nose kind of changes a little bit as far as where the great takeoff is. Mason snuck into the Coombs Cave, had a little tumble, but then made it over and was able to ollie that rock face right below the spine in the center. Now just soaking up those pow turns before he gets down here to the crowd pleaser. Saw him on his first attempt on the crowd pleaser this morning with a massive backflip. Here he is coming in. And he does it right there as well, and the crowd is pleased indeed. Mason Jar, welcome to Corbets. So taking a look at the replay with the chicane attempt in. Pretty unreal conditions for Mason in his first time down. Next athlete to drop, Madison Blackley. Madison has been a familiar face here for a bunch of years. She's our only snowboard queen to date for Kings and Queens. Well, here we go, Madison Blackley.
Dropping in. And airing in. Board just getting skipped out from underneath her, but a quick recovery, Moran.
Yeah, Madison taking that west wall entry and being able to cut over to the rocket air, or the rocket jump, and having a pristine landing in front of her. Look at those turns.
I'd love to see a rocket air off the rocket jump.
I agree, DC.
A little back three nose butter.
Maybe even a cross rocket.
Oh.
Let's bring it back to like 87.
So Madison Blackley, who competed on the professional snowboarding circuit in slope style, coming into the crowd pleaser here. Plenty of air time, locking in the front side grab, tweaking that one out nicely. A solid first run for Madison. Well, next up at the top of the couloir to drop in, Grant Giller, G. Gills, here in his 4th year competing at King and Queen of Corbet's. Going for the backside 360. Actually, he is a regular footer, so is that switchback 3 attempt we saw there?
There you go, there was a regular footed back 3. Off the spine, getting some of that fresh snow, and just so everyone knows, that cliff band is open season if riders and athletes can get up on top of that. There is a line in there. Here comes Grant into the crowd pleaser. Front side 7 tail grab, sliding out.
Very unique and technical way to enter the couloir. Our next athlete to drop in from Sun Valley, Idaho, crazy Carl Fosfet, 2-time king here. But let's take a look back on the reign of Carl Fosfet.
Looking back, it was just such a wild experience that first year. Everyone had so many nerves, didn't know what to expect. It was so cool year 1 to get a 7 into there, but a switch 9 is a dream trick for Corbet's. And that's one that I've just been laying in bed dreaming up. And so to bring that to the coulee, stomp it and ride away, it's just the best feeling. Try not to have too much of a game plan and just let my skis do the talking, and they're usually driving and I'm just along for the ride.
And here we go. The only 2-time king of this event, Carl Fosfet, the pride of Sun Valley, Idaho, dropping in.
Carl Fosfet, 3, 2, 1.
With the huge 720 into the couloir, regaining his composure.
Carl off the spine, starting off with that 7. That was the trick that won him his first crown. Coming in, switch into the crowd pleaser. Here we go, Carl Fosfet
with the switch left 900. Well, as the crowd goes wild for their 2-time king of Corbet's, let's take another look at that amazing run.
All right, Carl starting off with a left 720 and doing a pretty good job of hanging on, not totally blowing up. He's back on his feet immediately. Carl not slowing down at all, commanding this entire run with a ton of speed, going huge off of that cross-court kicker, the spine. One of the fastest, most competent, confident runs we've seen all day so far.
Next to drop in, originally from Gig Harbor, Washington, and now residing here in Jackson Hole, this is Cooper Branham. Let's hear more from Coop on his mental preparation and training here for Kings and Queens of Corbet's.
It seems like every year, you know, whether it's Cam and I or Yuki or whoever I'm out with before this, we end up finding a jump that's like little Corbett's, you know, we'll like find something and it just naturally happens where we're hitting somewhat of a training jump for it to get us kind of in the mode. It's a confidence thing for sure. Like, you don't want to be second guessing going off that lip. So as you roll in, your mind doesn't take over. You know, you kind of want to be shut off and just trusting that feeling. So that preparation is like, I think, one of the biggest points of it.
Here we go, Coop Brand, dropping in. Utilizing one of the constructed kickers off the top. double wildcat variation of that double backflip.
I had no idea that we were going to see that out of Coop. I got kind of an idea of what some of these riders have. I did not know we were going to see double wildcat and then a big backside 3 across that far rider's right kicker. Here comes Coop. High energy into the crowd pleaser.
The front 3 stalefish there. Signature to Coop's riding. I love how he serves it out when he gets that stalefish grab locked in. Absolutely amazing go there by Cooper. Let's enjoy this replay.
Double wildcat off the nose. That landing starting to get chewed up a little bit now that we're about halfway through our field. Slowed him down a little bit, but he was right back up. As you said, that frontside 3 stalefish is beautiful.
Our next athlete to drop, Ben Richards, first time here. The Kiwi from Wanaka, New Zealand on the South Island, an area that breeds so much amazing ski and snowboard talent. Very excited to see what Ben Richards has for us here in his first year at Corbett's. The Kiwi dropping in.
Oh, a huge slow left 3. Looked like Ben was gonna have that. He kind of bounced a little bit and then couldn't hold it together. Was able to still get a little air off the spine, and that was a pretty big pop, clearing that little rock band and coming into the final crowd pleaser.
With the nice big left 1, getting the safety grab locked in. That was almost like a skier's version of a backside 180. All right, Ben Richards, and a huge, just floaty left 3. Looked like he had it for a second, tumbles over, but regains his composure quickly. Well, next to drop in, our only Japanese athlete here in the mix. This is Yuki Kadono, who last year put on an incredible performance. Well, let's hear more from Yuki as he reflects on past years here at Corbett's.
I decided I was trying to do switchback 1. I want to show what I can do, and I want to show who's Yuki Kadono. Everyone was hyped for me. I was like, what's going on? I was so stoked. I was almost crying. It felt so good.
Had mentioned he wanted to try a switch backside 540 into the couloir this year. We'll find out right now. Yuki Kadono dropping in. There it is, switch backside 540 from Yuki Kadono.
Heavy metal, and then following it up with a back 3, unfortunately getting caught up in all that snow. Yuki was definitely high on the ones to watch list. All of the other athletes, a lot of the snowboarder athletes here mentioning that they really wanted to see what he had to do. He's got a huge list of accomplishments for his snowboard career.
Big backside 1080 from Yuki here into the crowd pleaser. Absolutely stomping it for the 2-time Burton US Open champion. Unbelievable finish. Let's take another look.
By far one of the most technical riders to compete here at Kings and Queens. Yuki with that switchback 5 off the nose, getting a little bounced around in the landing, but holding it together. Backside 10, the melon grab. Heavy run from Yuki. Little trouble in the middle, but started and finished really, really well.
Next up, coming out of Colorado, first year competing at this event, Wyndham Miller, and this kid doesn't hold back. Definitely an exciting addition to this year's athlete roster. Here we go, Wyndham Miller, dropping in.
From our viewpoint down here, it looked like he was going front flip off the west wall.
Very valiant effort on his first attempt into the couloir. Let's take another look at that. He doesn't hold back. As I was saying, Wyndham Miller is always going to be one of the ones out there charging the hardest. Here we go, Wyndham back on his feet. Yes.
There we go, Wyndham Miller, backside 3 across the fall line, landing in that ribbon of beautiful fresh snow below this S&S couloir. Coming in to the crowd pleaser off that 57-foot kicker and a backside 7 with an Indy grab, coming up a bit short, but finishing off strong for Wyndham Miller.
Next to drop in, coming out of Utah, Blake Wilson here, his second year competing for the King's title. Big backflip, looking for that steeper landing next to the west wall, gets the rotation around, but skips out just a little bit, but back to his feet.
It's hard to think that you have to actually go slower. There we go, Blake stomping a front flip off of the spine. And there, catching a little bit of that fresh landing. And here we go, teeing up the final jump, the crowd pleaser. What's Blake Wilson got for us? Left 7.
Capping the tail for that blunt left 7. And a little slash into the crowd down there, cheering him on. And we're gonna take another look here at Blake Wilson, sending it here into Corbett's.
Blake starting off with a huge backflip. It's amazing how slow he seemed to be rotating that, and he still could have gone slower. He over-rotated just a little bit, but followed it up with a beautiful front flip. And Blake putting it down clean. The crowd was way into that finish.
Next to drop in, coming out of Fernie, BC, Claire McPherson.
She is a rookie, but I think she's got a really good chance of doing well here today. Tons of technical tricks.
Let's hear from Claire as she talks on getting the late call to the event.
It was definitely a mad rush, just trying to get everything prepared. I had to have an awkward conversation with my boss. I'm a freestyle coach, so he was pretty understanding. He used to be a competitor himself. I think being rushed honestly helps. I haven't had time to really think about everything that's going to happen. I know I'm a good skier, and I think I will be able to do this, and I just got to remind myself that I can do this.
First time looking here into Corbett's, Claire McPherson from Fernie, British Columbia, dropping in.
Claire McPherson, 3, 2, 1.
Here we go, coming in over the west wall, smooth entrance to the couloir, Moran.
There she goes, there's some strategy in there. There's that backflip we're hoping for. The crowd still loves it. We've got probably 5,000 people here hanging out with us at the bottom of 10 Sleep Bowl.
Well, as Claire gets back on her feet, let's take another look back at that entrance.
Claire McPherson back on her feet. Huge thanks to our course ninjas up there. We saw that backy out of Claire. As we were saying, she's got a technical bag of tricks. So she comes into the crowd pleaser, see what her final rip is going to be.
Nice Cossack.
There you go. That's the crowd pleaser if I've ever seen one.
And our next athlete to drop in, a former Queen of Corbet's, the first woman to land a backflip here. This is Veronica Paulson. Let's hear more from her on looking back to landing a backflip here into Corbett's.
In 2020, that was my third year of attempts to landing a backflip into Corbett's. At that point, since I had tried it so many times, I wasn't terrified anymore, and I felt ready. Was so stoked when I skied away from that. My friend Kate Zeller was at the bottom. She gave me the biggest congratulations. Coming back, I'm still trying to push my skiing and push the sport and see what I can do.
Hearing rumors of maybe a double backy, we'll see what happens.
Veronica Paulson dropping in. Can she make history again? Oh. And the tap on the helmet lets us know that she is all good. Well, as we give Veronica a moment, let's take another look at that entrance into the couloir. The first ever attempted double backflip into the couloir
from a woman.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm bummed though. I wanted to make it around.
Our next athlete, local boy, Corey Jackson.
Corey, growing up here, like you said, definitely one of the most positive and enthusiastic guys to be around.
Well, let's hear from Corey Jackson from Jackson.
It's pretty cool being the People's Choice winner from 2022. I feel like if you commit to doing this event, you are gnarly. I mean, if you're standing at the bottom with all of your gear on and you made it down, like, you definitely have a good reason to smile.
And here we go, Corey Jackson dropping in.
Corey with a huge left three. He's kind of in that zone where there's still a good landing, but getting eaten up a little bit. Big backflip, hanging on to it. And he's keeping his momentum. It didn't slow him down. The first hit was a fall. Come and switch into the crowd pleaser. Oh, with a zero spin.
Nice. And rounded it out with the worm turn here into the corral. His peers are loving it. And let's take another look at Corey Jackson. Next athlete to drop in, another rookie at this event, Amy David.
Just a force to be reckoned with. So excited to see Amy competing this year at Kings and Queens.
And let's check in with Amy as she talks about being a big fan and excited to get into Corbett's for the event.
I have a lot of friends who have competed before, so have been that nervous friend watching on the other side of the live stream. I've skied it one other time, quite out of control. So coming back with a little bit more of a skill set should be fun, but also a little more gumption to go bigger. Always inspired by everyone else who's surrounding me at these events.
Here we go, Amy David dropping in her first time competing here at Corbett's.
Amy David, 3, 2, 1.
Amy David with the Cossack in.
Skiing away pretty clean, but then trying to shut it down right away. It looked like she was trying to get over to that first skier's right hit, the rocket.
And as we continue to watch Amy ski going for its own run of itself, let's take another look at that entrance.
That was a beautiful air into Corbett's. Classic trick and a solid landing initially.
Yeah, I love the Cossack in. Next up, Sharka Penchakova.
Sharka, a 4-time Olympian, big air, slopestyle, half pipe in all disciplines.
Dropping in, not afraid to go big.
Yeah, girl.
3, 2, 1.
Sharka with what looked like a backflip, maybe even a backside rodeo with a little spin there at the end. Backflip, late 180. Either way, little over rotation.
Let's take another look at that entrance.
Sharka coming off the nose, going backflip, and had a little more airtime than I think she expected. All right, Sharka back on her feet.
Now to the crowd pleaser, Sharka Penchikova. So many years on tour, competing in slopestyle and big air contests. Let's see what she's got for us here. Big back three. Yeah, plenty of airtime on her first time jumping here into the couloir.
Go anywhere, do anything in the wildly capable, electrified Jeep Grand Cherokee and Jeep Wrangler 4xe.
Found it. Your next athlete to drop in here to Corbet's. This is Piper Kunst. Let's hear more from Piper as she reflects on putting down a massive backflip to take the crown as Queen of Corbet's.
Last year, I spent so much of my time just thinking about this event. I didn't really come to win. Didn't really know what I was doing or what I was getting myself into. Coming down off the jump, all I saw was Corey Jackson's face, just like so stoked for me. Just kind of surprised myself there.
Here she is, your reigning queen from last year, 2022. Piper Kunst dropping in to the west wall.
Piper cementing her win last year with that absolutely massive backflip off the crowd pleaser, as she put it, going about 80 feet on a 20-foot jump. And she pulled it, she stomped it. It was crazy to see how all of the other athletes responded to her.
Puts it down, Jeff.
That was clean. Piper coming in hot, shutting down, controlling her speed as she works her way over. Jumping pretty much over our filmers up there.
Yeah, finding the good landing there in the fresh snow.
There we go. Piper having a great run so far, coming into the crowd pleaser. Going left three.
Yeah, loses a shoe on the landing, but back to her feet. All right, let's take a look at that replay. Aaron in from the west wall.
That was a solid 25, 30-foot drop and handling it no problem. That landing, there's only so many spots you can land up there at the top of Corbet's, and it's getting pretty chewed up as we get into the final handful of athletes to take their first run today.
Next to drop, another rookie here for Kings and Queens of Corbet's, Colby Stevenson, three-time X Games gold medalist, Olympic silver medalist for big air. As we wait for Colby to get ready to drop, let's hear some words from him on his first time here competing at Kings and Queens.
Yeah, my history at Jackson goes way back. I hit my first urban rail like right here in the village. And yeah, to just come back for such a big event is really cool. And that's the first time I saw Corbet's. I definitely remember thinking like, I never want to like launch off this thing because it looks so intimidating. But yeah, to have it closed for 2 weeks and fill in with snow is a total different story.
Colby Definitely high on the ones to watch list here at Kings and Queens.
Here we go, Colby Stevenson.
2, 1.
Stopping here into Corbet's.
Holy moly, Colby coming in hot. This is why everybody wanted to see him ski. Backflip off the spine, taking almost a downhill line, and easily one of the fastest runs that we've seen through Corbet's all day. Here he comes, Colby Stevens into the crowd pleaser. 2, 3 times around, double cork, give it up. Colby Stevens finishing off with that double cork 1080.
Arguably the best run we've seen here today. We'll leave that up for the athletes to decide, but let's take another look at Colby Stevenson. Colby Stevenson with the switch 540 in. Backflip in the middle of the couloir, and that left double cork 1080 on the crowd pleaser. And definitely the performance worthy of being crowned a king out here at Corbet's.
Only one of 2 people to stomp clean off of the nose today, he and Cam Fitzpatrick. But yeah, I'd say Colby right now is in the running to go home with a crown on his head.
Our next athlete, originally from the Netherlands, this is Cheryl Moss. Cheryl getting her start on the competitive snowboard circuit for slopestyle and big air.
2, 1.
Cheryl jumping in off the nose. It looks like coming in over the goat path. You can definitely tell that that landing is getting chewed up. She stayed on her feet. Easy to keep an eye on her with those nice bright pants. Cheryl jumping off that little rock face right in front of one of our cameramen and then coming over into that center section. And there's Cheryl finishing off her run with a backside 360.
Next athlete to drop in, Jack Wiley, his first year competing at this event. Let's hear from Jack as he talks about what it's like to get the last minute call to compete here at Corbet's.
I was actually just taking my gear off from snowboarding out in Utah and got a text about this last night. Immediately, heart starts racing. You're almost telling yourself if it's fake. I haven't even competed in probably 6+ years, so I think the mental preparation behind it is a lot more of trying to rekindle some old flames and making sure that everything in your head is going to go right, because why can't you trust your own body if everyone else trusts you to be here too?
Well, here he is, dropping in, Jack Wiley.
Jack Wiley, 3, 2, 1.
Jack Wiley, looks like he went half cap, kind of from here, looked like he did a little wall ride and stomping right away clean. He is still on his feet, managed to get over to that spine, and here going far riders right into that fresh pal. No problem keeping his speed, working through a little bit of that chunder as he comes into the final crowd pleaser booter and going backside 7. Jack Wiley, are you kidding me? One of our rookies here, first time at Kings and Queens, and putting down one of the most solid runs we've seen all day. The Wildcat is here, recognized.
Keeping that flow top to bottom. Jack Wiley, let's take a look at the replay here. What an amazing showing for our rookie athlete.
Jack Wiley going half cab in off the nose and like tapping part of the cliff. Holding it together, that is not a fresh landing anymore. Off the crowd pleaser with this beautiful kind of corked out back 7 and stomping, no problem.
Well, our final athlete to drop in, he drew that number 24 at the bib drop party the other night. Let's hear more from Niall on being intimidated by Corbet's and drawing last.
You're still gonna have butterflies at the top before you drop in. Coming into this year, I'm feeling a little bit better about it since there's some fresh snow actually. I did draw last, but still, I think still probably better than going like 3rd last year, so we'll chalk it up as a win.
Here we go, Niall Romanek, our final athlete to drop in for his first run. Big Mountain Gibber dropping in.
Niall coming in off the west wall. Looks like he spun in that way, but had a tough time with the first landing. Either way, back right up on his feet. On that far rider's right side of the course, plenty of fresh snow there. Kind of foregoing some of the features in the middle. Looks like he's sizing up the final kicker. Coming in to the crowd pleaser, this is Niall Romanek.
Oh, front 7 tail, holding on to that tail grab throughout the rotation. Let's take another look at that entrance. Well, Jeff Brand, we saw some amazing action in run 1. We got an amazing dance party going on down here at the bottom of 10 Sleep Bowl as well.
The vibe is high. People are stoked. It's been a party for sure. I feel like there's a lot of athletes that want to clean up their runs from the first one. We only really had a few people stomp, like Colby, Jack Wiley, Cam Fitzpatrick, Claire McPherson, but the list is pretty small of people who had clean first runs, so I think we're going to see a lot of athletes opting to take their second run.
Nature Valley is committed to protecting our national parks because life happens out there. It's where you'll find a million little moments. What's next? But the biggest memories happen when you experience out there through their eyes. So gather up and get ready because you don't have to travel far. All you have to do is step outside your front door. Life happens out there.
Let's take another look back at all the action that we saw from our amazing athletes here in their first of 2 runs.
2, 1.
Great action from run 1 there, but as the athletes head back up to the top, how does that re-rack order work?
Up top here for the second run, as the athletes filter in, they have the choice to take a second run if they want it. Then it's first come, first serve. In these last moments before dropping, a lot of the athletes want to get their very particular trajectory marked on their takeoff. So that could be as simple as your tracks on the lip and no one else's, maybe some pine boughs, giving you the confidence to know that you're where you want to be. Everybody's got a lot of experience with this, but it doesn't take away the nerves that come in when you're faced with doing something really scary.
We are ready for run 2. Getting word that it's King Carl Phosphate, that will be the first to drop in for his second of elected 2 runs.
I think Carl's going to put it all on the line. He's fallen on every first run he's ever taken in all 6 years of Kings and Queens. There's a chance that we could see Carl come back with the switch 9.
Here we go, Carl Phosphate. Big left 7 in, so clean with the landing.
Carl opening up that skier's left side of the couloir with a huge cross-court hit on that lower rock face. We haven't seen anyone hit that line yet.
And coming for the switch takeoff, but I think he got hung up. Well, bummer that he wasn't able to put down what he wanted to on the crowd pleaser. But let's take another look at that amazing second run from Carl Fosfit.
We kind of knew that he was going to come in heavy, and he definitely did. Had a screw up on the bottom jump, but a really solid run on the upper part of the course.
Yes, sir. Boom. Getting ready to drop in for his second of 2 runs. Yuki Kodono from Japan.
Definitely one of the most high-profile athletes here at Kings and Queens. When he first competed 2 years ago, it was the first time he had ever hit a cliff drop this big, and he started off with a switch backside 1. So we're gonna see some tech stuff from Yuki.
We're about to find out right now. Switch backside 540 in.
Yuki right back up on his feet, getting a couple pow turns in. Oh, the first person to use the hotel feature. Is impressive. Yuki Kodono off of the crowd pleaser with a nice slow backside 5.
Let's take another look at that replay. Definitely a fan favorite. The crowd to the bottom of 10 Sleep Bowl, you hear the chants, chanting his name out there. If you don't know, ask Kodono. Next athlete to drop in, taking his second of 2 runs. This is Mason Lemery, AKA Mason Jar, coming out of Bend, Oregon, Mount Bachelor local. What's he got for us? And Mason going for the inverted air into the couloir again.
Yeah, Mason looked like he was going backflip with a nose grab, coming over. Beautiful method as he airs over into that S&S run out, that the other couloir there to the looker's left of Corbett's. All right, and Mason holding on through the chunder as he comes into the final crowd pleaser.
Nice backside 360 with the melon grab. And a dancing Yuki Kodono welcomes Mason into the corral. Our next athlete to drop for his second of 2 runs, Grant Giller, 4th time competing here for the crown to be King of Corbet's. Can this be his year? Had a switch back 3 into the couloir on his first attempt. Very technical approach. Jeff Moran, what do you think?
Grant's kind of a tech rider. Let's see what he's got.
Grant Giller, 3, 2, 1.
There he is, dropping it, switch back 5, and he puts it down.
He puts it down, and here we go, coming into the hotel. Our first rider that we've seen head that direction. Just coming off the top of that, can be up to a 2-story drop. Grant kind of coming off the side, but getting tons of fresh snow. That's the zone right there. That's the sweet spot. The crowd pleaser, and here we go. It's crazy how quickly these runs go when the riders and skiers stay on their feet the whole time. And Grant Giller with a backside 7 melon grab, staying on his feet the whole way down. That was a heck of a run from Grant Giller. He's pumped on that.
Yeah, and the crowd loves it too. Grant getting into the crowd.
High fives for everyone.
Well, as Grant gets more love from the crowd, let's take a look at the replay of that amazing run. Next to drop, we've got Cooper Branham, now a Jackson Hole local, dropping in for his second of 2.
Cooper going for that double wildcat right off the nose on his first run. Definitely a surprise from him. Not that I didn't know he couldn't do it, but I didn't know that we'd see it off of Corbett's.
Cooper, 3, 2, 1.
Cooper with that beautiful method He's trying to hold it together, but man, that is just, that whole zone is already beat up. It's gonna be really tough for any of our riders or skiers to make it through there. I was hoping we were gonna see his frontside 7. He does a really cool corked front 7 off of his toes. Let's see what he's got here. Just kind of going straight air to finish it off. I have a feeling that's probably not the way Coop wanted to end out his run, but he's down there with all his homies, and that's where the love starts flowing.
Well, as Cooper gets some love from his fellow athletes down here at the bottom, let's take a look at that replay. I love the method air into the couloir. A salute to snowboarding.
Coop, a super stylish rider.
Yeah, beautiful method air indeed. Jack Wiley dropping in, second of 2 runs. Crazy shadows casting over the couloir. What's Jack got for us?
Jack Wiley, 3, 2, 1.
And here's Jack Wiley dropping in.
The Wildcat, not sure what happened there. He got hung up coming in kind of on the west wall side. He had a few tumbles, but he's heading hard. Rider's right, you can see his pal plume blowing up there over Castle Grayscale. Here we go, Jack Wiley getting sorted and ready for the crowd pleaser. This is it, last go of it. Let's see what he's got for us. Oh, going one-footed. Jack having fun with it. He had a really awesome first run, so he definitely took the opportunity to please the crowd. Chucking the helmet, the lens is off.
Let's see what happened there on that second run.
Jack is building on a really strong first run. He stayed on his feet the whole way down, including the air off of the nose.
Second run, not going his way, but I like the one-footed approach off the crowd pleaser at the end. Now dropping in for her second of 2 runs. This is Summer Fenton, hailing out of San Francisco, who has competed on the professional halfpipe circuit for many years now. Dropping in second run, first time here in the Corbets.
Summer straight off the nose with a big air, butt checking off of it, but getting reclaiming her run there, heading over to the rider's right off of that rocket hit, aptly named because it's literally built off of a rock. Summer working her way around Castle Grayskull, and looks like she's sizing up the crowd pleaser. Everybody loves the crowd pleaser. Every athlete makes sure to hit it, and the crowd is going wild right now for Summer as she comes into her final hit.
She gets welcomed here to the bottom as we head back up to the top.
45 seconds.
Getting hyped to drop in on her second of 2 runs. First year competing at this event. This is Fernie, British Columbia's Claire McPherson.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
Fernie, British
4,
Columbia's
3,
Claire McPherson dropping in for her second run. Smooth entrance into the couloir.
All right, Claire's looking for some redemption. There's that big backflip.
Yes!
Oh, making that landing look absolutely easy, skipping over those rocks, no problem. Claire has a pretty technical bag of tricks. Let's see what she's got on the final crowd pleaser. She's going spreader. Not super tech, but definitely a crowd pleaser.
Let's take a look at the replay. As As we head back up to the top, here's our next athlete in the start. He drew the last drop from the draw party the other night. Now getting to drop a little further up in the start order. Drop it in.
Niall came in off the west wall for his first run.
2, 1.
All right, Niall taking a similar line, but still getting eaten up as he gets into the couloir. Fortunately, kind of stopping his momentum before he got over to the east side. Going backside 3 over that spine jump, built right on top of that first rock face. Now, getting the best of what's left. That's the most chewed up spot in all of Corbet's couloir right now, and off of the crowd pleaser, going huge, frontside 7. It's a little over-rotated.
Well, Niall getting welcomed by his peers into the corral.
Alex Hackle.
Back at the top of the couloir after being the first one to drop, Alex Hackle. Let's see what he's got for us here on run 2. Getting word that he's gonna be dropping in off the nose again. Saw that hand drag left 3 on his first go. And again, the hand drag left 3, clean with the landing this time, Moran.
That is a heavy moment in any athlete's run. They land their first hit, they know that all they gotta do now is hold it together, and they're gonna be a serious contender for the podium. And here comes Alex Hackle into the crowd pleaser, his final hit.
Yes, and run 2, he puts it down the way he wanted to, top to bottom. Let's go ahead and relive that amazing second run for Alex Hackle.
Big backflip over into that fresh snow. Double cork left 7. That was a heavy run.
Here's our next athlete getting ready to drop in. Hailing out of the Netherlands, now calling Idaho home. This is Cheryl Moss dropping in for her second of 2 runs. As Cheryl is dropping in.
Drill 3, 2, 1.
Half cab in again. Getting bounced on the landing, but quick back to her feet.
It's only getting tougher and tougher. There she goes, taking advantage of that rocket launcher, but tumbling down. Still plenty of course left. That's a popular spot right there. Coming straight off of her competition. She was over there in Baker for the legendary bank slalom, and here she comes off of the crowd pleaser.
With the backside 720 and puts it down clean. Nice soul turn at the bottom. And let's take a look at the replay of run 2 for Cheryl Moss. Getting ready to drop in for his second run, Colby Stevenson. After an incredible first run, what's he gonna do now to top it?
He could just go to the hot tub and call it good, because as far as I'm concerned, that might be the winning run so far. But knowing Colby Stevenson, I have a feeling he's gonna step it up for run 2.
Here we go, Colby Stevenson dropping in, second run.
Colby Stevenson, 3, 2, 1.
Going for the double flat spin.
Colby definitely trying to build on knowing he had a solid first run. Going double cork into the couloir. Oh, looks like changed the game plan right there at the last minute. Not as clean of a run as he had on the first one, but he knows he has a solid run to stand on.
Big old left 9 tail for Colby. Coming into the finish, looking to step things up with the double flat spin. for his entrance into the couloir. Let's take a look at this replay. Dropping next for his second run here into the couloir. Wyndham Miller coming in from Colorado with a no-holds-bar approach. Had the giant front flip attempt on run one. Here we go, Wyndham Miller dropping in.
Wyndham taking the same line off of the west wall and keeping his momentum, a little bit of a bobble on the landing, but he didn't blow up. Backside three. And shutting down the speed right there as he prepares for his last hit off of the crowd pleaser. Going court front seven and stomping that clean.
Wyndham Miller cleaning it up big time there on run two and not holding back at all. Let's take a look at the replay. Definitely, and true to his style.
Pretty good run for Wyndham Miller, cleaning it up from his first run for sure.
Next athlete to drop, Madison Blackley.
Madison has been a familiar face here for a bunch of years. She's our only snowboard queen to date for Kings and Queens.
Well, for more on the camaraderie at this event, let's check in with Madison as she talks about that amazing part of this experience.
So what keeps me coming back to Kings and Queens of Corbett is it's just such a unique competition. I've never really felt so encouraged at a high stake competition as I do here. Everyone is just really rooting for each other, because if somebody lands a run, then that's the feeling that you want. It's something that we all look forward to.
Madison riding in off the west wall zone. Looks like she is heading off the rocket launcher. From down here, it kind of looks like that'll put you up in the air, but the takeoff is actually sloped downhill, so you don't get too much pop. A lot of riders heading over to that far rider's right zone. There's definitely some good turns in there. You might as well suck up all the free pow turns you can get. You deserve it. After hucking off or riding into Corbett's, that's no small feat. Here comes Madison Blackley, a former queen here, Queen of Corbett, coming into the final jump, our crowd pleaser. And there she goes, switch backside 180 and slide now into the corral.
Great showing by our 2021 Queen of Corbett.
Carl Ragnar Eriksson with a flat three. Huge 360 from Carl. Taking it all the way down.
Getting ready to drop in for her second of two runs, Sharka Penchikova, four-time Olympian, dropping in. What has she got for us here for her second drop into Corbett's couloir?
3, 2, 1.
Sharka taking a bit more conservative line in. Last time she had that backflip with the over rotation. This time riding in on her toe edge, kind of off the wall ride side of the nose. coming over the spine. The word's out that far rider's right side of the couloir is where the good snow is. At this point, it's just a matter of getting set up, figuring out exactly what it is she wants to finish the run on. Sharka's got a huge bag of tricks. There she is, backside 7 with the melon grab, stomped! And the crowd is hyped on that. Her fellow competitors are stoked. Solid run from Sharka Panchakova.
Next to drop, local boy Cam Fitzpatrick, son of a Jackson Hole ski patroller.
I know Cam is hype. It's got to feel good to know that he's got one in the bag, and now he can open it up a little bit more.
Cam Fitzpatrick off the nose. 3, 2, 1.
Cam coming straight in, just off the nose. I think he's opting just to stay on his feet. Going cross court, there's the backy. Grabbing his board, grabbing front side. I guess if it's a back flip, he can indie grab. Anyways, Cam coming into the final booter here, going nice slow backside 3 on the crowd pleaser, on about 60 feet or so to the landing. I think Cam was taking it safe there on his second run. He knows he's got a good one in the bag.
2 great runs for Cam. Let's take a look at the replay of Cam's second run. Blake Wilson dropping in for his second run.
Blake, 1 minute. He's hitting the kicker.
Second year here at Corbett's, definitely feel like I need a little bit of redemption from what I've seen so far. It looks like everything's lining up pretty good this year, so very excited to be back. And it looks like the park crew's been doing some pretty gnarly shoveling up there. I saw like a hotel-looking jump, so excited to get my eyes on it.
Blake Wilson, 3, 2, 1.
Beautiful backflip, clean with the landing.
Oh, Blake, combo. Not only did he stomp, he made both of those flips look good. Backy into the front flip. Skiing super confidently and strong, coming into the crowd pleaser. And there he goes.
Oh, massive left 7. Locks in the tail grab. Went deep on that, Moran.
Real deep, almost over-rotated, but managed to hold it together. We definitely have another contender for a potential podium spot.
Let's watch this amazing replay of Blake Wilson. Incredible run there by Blake Wilson, going full on bolts, backflip in. Second run for Veronica Paulson. We saw the double backflip attempt, going for history, making performance out here again. What does she have here on run number 2? Veronica Paulson dropping in.
Veronica Paulson, 3, 2, 1.
Veronica trying to rebait that double backflip. She got it around better this time. She's stoked. She is so pumped. The first double backflip attempt by a woman in Corbet's Couloir history. Well, you know, her first backflip that she landed, it took her 3 years to actually get that solidified. You know, this was only her first 2 attempts at a double backflip, and it was heavy metal.
Going for it again, the double backflip, got it to her feet. Veronica Paulson attempting to make history again here in the Corbet's Couloir.
First rotation around while she was still on the way up and having plenty of time to get the second one around. The landing just didn't work out for her.
Say what you want, that is history to me. Let's take another look at that amazing run.
I like that Veronica's run was all or nothing.
I don't even care that I didn't stomp it. I'm just glad to go for it. And my skis stayed on, and that's a success for me. Woo.
Dropping next, the Kiwi from Wanaka, New Zealand, Ben Richards.
Even if it wasn't a competition, like I've always kind of looked at Jackson Hole and wanted to come and ski here, and a chance to go and jump into Corbett's and into fresh snow is kind of the dream. Watched a few of the last couple years. I've seen like the boys like Parkin and Jake doing doubles in there, and honestly, it looks pretty terrifying. I'll definitely be tapping Jake on the shoulder, I think, and asking for his advice. He's done it a few times now, so hopefully he can point me in the right direction.
Ben Richards off the kicker, 3, 2, 1.
Double backflip. Richards all the way from Wanaka, New Zealand, throwing a double backflip, landing clean, and the Lincoln loop off the cross court.
Ben coming a long way from that first run, getting redemption, and there's that.
Going left 9 there. Looked like he was going left 7, a little shifty, late 180. Checking out the replay here of Ben Richards.
Heavy, heavy upper part of his run. Double backflip, looking like he had done it 10 times before. And it is not a soft landing up there anymore. It is beat up. That was absolutely incredible performance from Ben Richards.
Amy David getting ready to drop in, a Wyoming native, now residing in Stanley, Idaho. Dropping in, second run.
All right, Amy David, she is in the couloir, taking a little bit more conservative route in from her last run where she did that huge Cossack. Amy sizing up the rocket launcher. The safety grab and over into the far skier's right, getting some fresh snow. Going for a backflip. It's getting tough to land anything up there right now. Really impressive that athletes are still sending big tricks.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay here for Amy David. Here we go, Piper Kunst, our defending Queen of Corbet's. Second run, drop it in.
3, 2, 1.
Piper Kunst with a front flip in off the west wall. Kicking his ski real early, but hands in the air. She's doing all right.
Let's take a look at that replay.
Here we go, Piper Kunst back on her feet, making her way down.
Love her approach and what she brings to the table with her very exciting skiing. Definitely putting on a show out here. Yeah, much respect to Piper.
And coming into everybody's favorite, the crowd pleaser jump here at the bottom. In true Piper form, taking it deep. Piper giving the thumbs up, she's okay. Looks like she lost a GoPro or something, but I think she's all right. She's getting hugs and high fives.
Next to drop, Corey Jackson from Jackson, local boy, your People's Choice Award recipient from last season. And here we have Corey Jackson dropping in, second run.
Corey Jackson, 3, 2, 1.
Big left three, sniping the good landing at the base of the west wall. Corey Jackson off the hotel. A little bit of a harder landing than we would have thought, but he stays on his feet after a little bit of a back slap. Corey blasting through Corbet's and coming into the crowd pleaser with a left side 900. Corey Jackson, local boy, doing it right out here. Look at that, off the top, the penthouse suite.
That's a solid 60-foot air. He hit that with so much heat. And here he comes into the crowd pleaser with his left 9, and then that was incredible. I think it's safe to say this was another historic Kings and Queens of Corbet's in the books, a big 6th year, some of the cleanest lines we've ever seen, some of the biggest tricks we've ever seen, so I'd say it was definitely a success.
Well, on behalf of myself, Jeff Moran, Andrew Whiteford at the top, and our entire production staff, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Big thank you to Jackson Hole Mountain Resort, all the event partners, and especially all the athletes. Wish you all a good day and enjoy these highlights from the event.
Our 2023 Queen of Corbett. Give it up for Claire McPherson!
And your 2023 King of Corbett's, his first year competing in this event. Hands together for Colby Stevenson.